New construction communities in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. If you did not know this, there is a ton of new construction builders that is very affordable here in the Metroplex. And we also have some fantastic builders that build at a higher price point. So in this week's video, I'm going to share with you a lot of builders that I have worked with or homes of theirs that I have toured. I'm going to share my experiences with you, and I'm also going to share where they build and their rough price ranges. So stick around. Hey everyone, my name is Danae Hewitt and I am your go-to DFW realtor here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I help a lot of people purchase new construction homes, and I've walked through a ton of them and I've met with a lot of builders, gone to different communities. So I am here to share with you my experiences and kind of talk to you about these builders and their price points and kind of what you get for your money in the low, the middle, and the high end ranges. So let's get into it. Starting with our lower end builders, the first one I'm going to talk about is LGI Homes. I have helped two clients purchase LGI homes. One was a couple of years ago, and then one was actually just recently, a couple of months ago. LGI Homes are going to have homes in a really narrow price range. We're talking mid 200s to the mid 300,000s. And of course, depends on the area that you're looking in. A lot of LGI homes are on the outskirts of town. Actually, you'll hear me say that with just about all of the builders. And when I say the outskirts of towns, I mean like you've got the airport kind of in the center, and then you kind of go out a little bit and it's very densely populated. And then once you get further out, that's where the land is still undeveloped. And that's where people are moving out to, kind of getting out in the suburbs. And so which is actually kind of funny because some of those rural areas are now like scooped up by the Metroplex, and they are also the suburbs. So we just kind of get further out. So really in general, a lot of these builders are just building on the outside of the Metroplex just because land is a little bit more cheaper, and it's there's more land to come by the further you go out. So let's go back to LGI Homes. So like I said, they've got a tighter price point, mid 200s to the mid $300,000. And this is a perfect starter home for someone who simply just doesn't have a large budget. All right. When you go into these homes, you are not picking out anything. Okay, let me take that back. LGI likes to build their own communities out. So when you drive into the entrance, all of the homes are going to be LGI homes. All right. So they have already decided which floor plan is going to be on that plot of land. And they've probably already decided all of the insides and what the color of the outside is going to be, and what the elevation on the outside is going to be. And you just drive around and you say, oh, yep, I like that. If you like that lot, but you don't like that house, then obviously don't buy it. All right. There isn't a lot of options, especially if you're going in towards the end of the neighborhood being built. You just kind of have to take what they give you, kind of a thing. If you're lucky enough to get in with LGI Homes, you might be able to change like the inside of the carpet, but like honestly, that may even be a stretch. I mean, I'm talking you have to get in like real soon, but you don't get to choose anything with the inside or on the outside of the houses. To keep the cost down with LGI Homes, they have all carpet throughout the house, and then of course tile in the wet areas, bathrooms and kitchens. They don't do like luxury vinyl plank. That's not an upgrade that you can do. There's no upgrades with LGI Homes. It's perfect for first-time home buyers that just want to get out of renting and get into home ownership. And recently, the clients that I helped purchase their recent LGI home, they didn't have to come out of pocket very much at all because LGI Homes was giving such an incredible discount to help offset their closing costs. So they went from renting pretty much at the same amount to paying that in a mortgage. So it was just absolutely perfect, and they are so happy with their decision. The next builder I talk about is America's largest builder, which is D.R. Horton. D.R. Horton builds a ton here in the Metroplex. Again, all along on the outsides, they build single family homes. The range that you're going to see is the low 200s to like the mid 500s, but the mid 500s is very few and far in between. Okay. Most of their stuff that you're going to see is under 400. Okay, let's just put it there. I've sold quite a few DR Horton homes, and they've all been 400 or under. Maybe one was 425-ish. Getting up into the mid 500s, we're not seeing a ton of that right now. Okay, areas like Midlothian is where you would see it in, but I've helped clients purchase DR Horton's homes up in North Fort Worth, South Fort Worth, the Joshua area, over in Cedar Hill. And those are right around the $400,000 price point. Now with DR Horton Homes, same thing with LGI Homes. They like to build like a master plan community where all of the homes are DR Horton Homes. I'm pretty sure that up in Argyle, there is a community out there, and I cannot think of the name of it off the top of my head. They have a community where it's just a whole bunch of builders, and DR Horton is one of them, in one big master planned community. But typically DR Horton just builds their own community, and they usually, they have a dog park, a pool, a playground, some amenities that you would get when you purchase a home, because most likely the home is going to be in an HOA. But there is one DR Horton home in the community without an HOA. If you want to know what that is, just let me know. So anyways, I digress. So with DR Horton Homes, same thing like LGI Homes. You're going to go into that community and they're going to say, this floor plan with this outside elevation is going to be on this lot. Okay. And a lot of times the inside of the home is already going to be picked out for you. Okay. They are a well-oiled machine, and you'll get very few upgrades into the house when you go into the communities. Now, some communities are called their express communities, and that is their cheapest price point in the home. And they've got different level of upgrades inside those homes. But if you go into a DR Horton community that is the Tradition series, you're going to see more upgrades in that house. Okay, so you can't go into an express home and say, hey, I want under cabinet lighting, because no, they don't do that in the express homes. They do in the Tradition homes. I'm pretty sure that they do, but you see more upgrades the more that you pay for the house. All right, so they do offer upgrades, but only in the specific series of homes, which are specific communities. So if you go into the Dove Creek community in Midlothian, that is the Tradition series. They're not going to be putting express homes in them as well. Okay, so typically all the homes in that neighborhood are going to have the same level of upgrades because, again, they're staying within that same series, if that makes sense. The next home, which we're probably going to be a little bit comparable with DR Horton, is going to be Lennar Homes. And those are around the low $200,000 price point to the mid $400,000 price point. And I'll be honest, I've gone into Lennar Homes and I haven't been like overly impressed with them. Not really loving the layouts of them, and and sometimes their outside elevations too. I'm just like, okay. So that's just my opinion of them. I've walked through them. I actually have not had a client ever purchase with Lennar Homes. They've gone with other builders like Meritage or DR Horton Homes. That's just my opinion. A very affordable builder. So and I don't know exactly how they kind of work all of their upgrades. Again, in this price point, I think they kind of do the same thing with DR Horton is you can't take this home and make any upgrades to it. You would have to go to a higher tiered home to get upgrades that are already in that house. And a lot of times with these three builders specifically that I'm talking about, they do some things that really help to cut the cost down for these first time home buyers. And one of the things they do is they do not put any fireplaces in the houses. So you will not see a built fireplace, whether it's wood burning or gas start. There's no fireplaces there. You also won't find any bathtubs in the primary bathrooms, but you will in the secondary bathrooms. You'll have like a small tub there. But in the primary bathrooms, it's just gonna be one shower, and it's a good size shower. I mean, it's not like this perfect square. It'll be a rectangle shaped shower, so it's definitely a good size shower. But if you are someone that likes to take nice soaking baths at night, these builders may not be the builders for you. Just throwing that out there. Now we're going to get into some mid-level home builders here. Meritage Homes, I've actually had a client purchase with them. We're looking like in the low 300s to the mid 500,000s. Something I really like with Meritage Homes is at this price point, this mid-level price point, they do spray foam insulation, which is a more insulated and more energy efficient house. So that is fantastic. And their floor plans are pretty decent. I mean, there's nothing oh, beautiful and different about them. Yes, it'll be open concept kitchen and living, and bedrooms may be a kind of decent size depending on the square footage, of course. But I will say the client that I helped purchase the Meritage home, I would say it was probably one of the best builder walkthroughs that I had ever experienced. And I've experienced a lot of builder walkthroughs with many different builders. This builder in this community up in North Fort Worth, he was so passionate about this home. And I know it wasn't just this home, it was all of the homes. You just knew it. So my clients, they did not build this home. It was already built and ready to move in. And this man cared so much about this home. I remember looking at my clients going, my gosh, he's great, because he just took so much pride in his work. He really did. And so that was a great experience. The customer service from the sales representative there, it started off really good, and then there was like a snafu right before closing that had to do with a data security breach with the preferred lender, and we kind of just got an email, and it was like, hey, we may not be able to close. And like, that was it. And I tried calling and I didn't get a phone call. And I'm like, no. You don't just send me an email. I need a phone call. I need to know what is going on. My clients were very lucky because they were already past the clear to close phase in the lending process, which literally means we are cleared to close. You can buy this house. So they were actually able to close on time, which was good. But again, I just didn't really love how we were kind of just left hanging out to dry after that. Now, the next builder is Pulte Homes. So you're talking like the high 300s to like the mid 500s. So again, just that mid-range builder. And so I've walked through their homes, but I've never had a client purchase with them. The customer service that we got when we sat down, was great. It was great. Nice sales consultant walk through there. So I will point something out with these homes, and I know that I've seen the resale homes, and I'm like, oh, this is a Pulte home, because they do what's called the Pulte Planning Center, and it's like this little office nook, usually off the kitchen, or sometimes it's close to the laundry room, and it's an open area with like a built-in desktop, and it might have some cabinets if I can remember correctly. It's an office area. So I've seen people say, oh, this is just like a dumping ground for mail and Amazon packages, and it's always a mess, but yet it's open to your kitchen in your living area. As I've shown some of these homes, I've seen people go, what am I going to use this space for? But I've also seen people who see that space as a great, like homeschooling space, or it's like a little mini office space, not like I work full time. This is going to be my office space. Maybe it's just an office space to keep things that you need at home. That's just something to think about when you walk through their homes, because I think it's like in all of their floor plans. It's like something that they've coined. So the next builder is Tripoint Homes, and they're again in the mid 300s to like the low 600s. Sat and talked with a sales representative, and seen a couple of the homes. It was kind of like, okay. I think if I was spending money in this price point, I would lean more towards Meritage Homes than I would with Tripoint Homes. Some of the elevations I'm like, I don't know, I'm not jazzed about. And yes, it was just this one sales consultant, but this one was like really pushy. And, and my clients, you can just kind of tell, they kind of say it's like commission breath, it's like, oh, just, it was more about selling the sale that Tripoint Homes was doing at the time. Like, oh, we're doing, this interest rate and this much in closing costs. And it was like, wait, we don't even know anything about your homes in general. How do you build your homes? What do you guys have available right now? And it was just, hey, let me tell you about the specials we've got going on. And it's like, sell us on the home and then tell us what specials you have to offer. But what, is he still around? I have no idea. But that was just one experience, and the one time I've gone to Tripoint Homes. Now we're going to get into some mid to upper level homes. All right. So the first one we're going to talk about is David Weekley Homes. And I actually currently have clients that are under contract with a David Weekley home as we speak. The community is the Harvest community up in the northern part of the Metroplex, which is it's an award-winning master plan community. David Weekley builds anywhere in the mid 300s to the low 700s. And this is the builder where you go to the design center and you're able to choose your selections if you decide which lot you're building on and what home you're putting on that lot. So now we're getting into where you have more of an option for the home and what is on the outside and what is on the inside when you go into their community. And David Weekley, they don't build a whole master plan community with just their homes. No, they're mixing a bunch of builders into that one community. But I will say that when you go into any community and you see a home that's already built, a lot of times builders, they build homes that are different from the model homes so that their customers can see a variety of their builds. And then also we'll see that a buyer will build the house and choose everything that goes on the inside and outside, and then for whatever reason they terminate the contract. And actually that's what my clients are buying. This home was designed by a buyer and they had to terminate the contract, and my buyers get to reap that benefit and buy this beautiful home that's already done. The timing lines up with their move, and so it's really great. David Weekley is a great build, a great quality build. Like when we're talking about the inside of the home, again, you've got that spray foam insulation. Their studs are actually closer together as opposed to being 12 inches apart. They're a little closer together, so the home is a little bit more sturdy. Not that 12 inches is not sturdy at all, but they spent a little bit of money on that lumber to have more studs in the house. You see a wide variety of home elevations, meaning the outside of the house, so your house doesn't look as cookie cutter compared to the home next to you, across the street from you, catty corner. I do have some really, really good friends of mine, and they've been in their David Weekley home, I think, for about 8 years or so by now, and they're still very, very, very happy with the home. Very happy with the customer service even 8 years later, because they're still building in that community, that they have several phases. It's a big community. They were one of the first people in that neighborhood, but they still get great customer service all these years later. The next builder is Pulte Homes. They're going to build again on the kind of the outskirts of town. We're going to see stuff in the high 300s to the $700,000 range. And I have helped clients buy probably 3 or 4 Pulte Homes. I love the company. Love the company. I've had great experience with sales consultants there. The builder walkthroughs have been really fantastic with Pulte Homes. There are some floor plans of Pulte Homes that really excite me. There's a model home. There's a Pulte model home in Midlothian. And I'm like, oh, I love this layout. I love it. So we just start to see more than just the open kitchen and living. And, we get vaulted ceilings and a really tall fireplace. We see a lot more customizations with Pulte Homes. You've got the elevations with really high pitches. So one thing I'll point out with Pulte Homes is that they do a 2-year workmanship warranty, which means on any cosmetic things in the house, if you notice something, they will warranty it for 2 years. Every builder that I know is a 1-year craftsmanship warranty. So let's say your cabinet starts to stick and you can't open it. Great, put in a warranty request and they'll go ahead and readjust it for you. Oh, I haven't seen that with any other builder except for Pulte, which is a huge bonus because stuff happens. These homes are built with human hands, stuff is going to happen. All right. I really, really like Pulte Homes. You can't go wrong with them. They are a fantastic builder if your budget is a little bit higher. Beazer Homes, we're going to see being built in the northeast side. So the north and the east side of the Metroplex. So they also build condos and townhomes in a couple of their communities. Most of these builders that I have spoken to you about, they're single family residences, but Beazer does single family and condos and townhomes. And their price range is going to be in the high 300s to the mid 700s. Depending on your upgrades will depend on, of course, what that final price is going to be of your home. I've had one experience with Beazer Homes. It wasn't the greatest experience, but got to give them the benefit of the doubt because my clients are building the home in the middle of the pandemic. And in the middle of the pandemic, the supply chain had practically stopped. Just took way longer to build, so I can't really hold that against Beazer, okay? I had clients building with other builders, same thing was happening. To know that this was my only experience with them is like, so have to give them the benefit of the doubt. I will say that this builder that we did do like the final walkthrough with, the final walkthrough went great. There were things that like the tray in the microwave was missing. Oh, he was like, oh my gosh, no problem. You know, we'll get that. They signed the paper that said, you know, microwave tray, sprinklers are going to get fixed. It took a long time to get those things. And my client was like, I need to use my microwave. Give me the tray, okay? A little bit frustrating. Do I hold that against them? No, I don't. Would I take a client to a Beazer home? Absolutely. But this is really in the same price point as Perry Homes. And I know that I love Perry Homes so much and the experience has been really great with them. I would probably lean more towards a Perry home than I would a Beazer home. If you are looking for high-end luxury builder, then you should be looking at Toll Brothers. So Toll Brothers builds $700,000 up to, you know, over $2 million with their homes. And way custom, 100% way custom. You're choosing your lot, you're choosing just absolutely everything. So I had some clients build with Toll Brothers up in the Flower Mound area. Customer service was great. This whole neighborhood was a custom high-end luxury building neighborhood. So they really didn't need to worry about what was being built across the street because guarantee you it was not going to be a cookie cutter home that was going to look like them. But they have different style homes that you can choose from, traditional, modern, Mediterranean style homes. And so that from right there, you get to choose the style home that you have. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. If you have the budget and you have the ideas for customizations that you want to do in the home, Toll Brothers is absolutely a way to go if you've got the budget for it. Well, there you have it, folks. There's my experiences with several new home construction builders here in the area. There are many others that I have walked through that I didn't mention in this video because there are so many and I've seen so many of the homes, but I just wanted to highlight the price range of these homes for you so you can kind of see what you're going to get for your money and my experiences with them. If there's a builder that I missed that you think I should have put on this list, then let me know and let me know your experience with them in the comments below. And thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you next week.